Good day everyone, we are the Group 7 and today we are going to discuss our powerful and extraordinary nervous system. But first, let us define what is the nervous system. The nervous system is the major controlling, regulatory, and communicating system in the body. It is the center of all mental activity including thought, learning, and memory. Indeed, our nervous system does a huge job in our body. Now that we have already defined the nervous system, let us start expanding our knowledge about it by proceeding to the next section of this discussion, which will be led by Andrea and Alexis.
In this section, we will be going to talk about the parts and functions of our nervous system.
Our nervous system is divided into two main parts, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. First, let us discuss the central nervous system.
The central nervous system is referred to as central because it combines information from the entire body and coordinates activity across the whole organism. This central nervous system is then composed of two major structures, the brain and the spinal cord. The brain is found within the skull or cranium. It is in charge of our thoughts, memory, and speech, as well as the movement of our arms and legs and the functions of many organs in our body. It is made up of 6 main sections, namely cerebrum, cerebellum, diencephalon, midbrain, pons, and medulla oblongata. On the other hand, the spinal cord is a column of nerve tissues that runs from the base of the skull down the center of the back. It is divided into 4 regions: cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and the sacral.
Let's now start discussing the second main part of our nervous system, which is the peripheral nervous system. The PNS is in charge of transmitting information from your brain to the rest of your body. It is made up of nerves that are located outside of the brain and the spinal cord. The PNS is then subdivided into 2 smaller systems, which are the somatic and autonomic nervous systems. The peripheral nervous system's autonomic system regulates involuntary physiologic activities like heart rate, blood pressure, respiration, digestion, and sexual arousal. Meanwhile, the somatic system is a part of peripheral nerve system involved in the voluntary regulation of body movements via skeletal muscles.
Since we finished discussing the nervous system's parts and functions, let us move on to the second section of this video where we'll talk about the diseases that affect our nervous system. Let us begin with Alzheimer's disease.
Alzheimer's disease is a brain disorder that slowly destroys memory and thinking skills and eventually the ability to carry out the simple task.
Bell's palsy is an unexplained episode of facial muscle weakness or paralysis. Pain and discomfort usually occur on one side of the face or head.
Cerebral palsy is a group of disorders that affects a person's ability to move and maintain balance and posture. This motor disability is the most common in childhood.
Epilepsy. Epilepsy is when brain's activity becomes abnormal, causing seizures or periods of unusual behavior, sensation, and sometimes loss of awareness.
MND, or what we call motor neuron disease. Those neurons degenerate and die, and slowly the muscles become weaker. This eventually leads to paralysis.
Multiple sclerosis is a condition that can affect the brain and the spinal cord, causing a wide range of potential symptoms, including problems with vision, arm or leg movement, sensation, or balance.
NEUROFIBROMATOSIS. NEUROFIBROMATOSIS is a genetic disorder of nervous system. It causes tumors to grow on nerves. You can get neurofibromatosis from your parents, or it can happen because of mutation or change in your genes. Once you have it, you can pass it along to your children.
Parkinson's disease is a brain disorder that leads to shaking, stiffness, and difficulty with walking, balance, and coordination. As the disease progresses, people may have difficulty walking and talking.
Sciatica. Sciatica patients who suffer from sciatica may also feel numbness, weakness, or a tingling sensation.
Shingles is a viral infection that causes a painful rash. Anyone who's had chickenpox may develop shingles. After you recover from chickenpox, the virus enters your nervous system and lies dormant for years.
These diseases are heartbreaking to know because they have such a huge impact on the lives of those who suffer from them. But as we move into the third and final section of our discussion, we can still consider that our nervous system is one of the amazing systems of our body.
Well, discover how it collaborates with other body systems to keep us alive and healthy.
How does the nervous system works together with the other systems of the body?
The nervous system allows all of the body's parts to communicate with one another. It also sends and receives messages using both electrical and chemical means. Nerves also help sense the state of tissues and relay this information back to the brain and spinal cord, enabling us to experience pain, pleasure, temperature, vision, hearing, and other senses.
Nervous system and digestive system. The digestive system sends sensory information to the brain. The automatic nervous system controls the tone of the digestive tract. The brain controls drinking and feeding behavior, also the muscles for eating and elimination.
Nervous system and respiratory system. The brain regulates respiratory rate, then monitors respiratory volume and blood gas levels.
Nervous system and circulatory system. The circulatory system provides your brain with a constant supply of oxygen-rich blood, while your brain regulates your heart rate and blood pressure.
Nervous system and immune system. The nervous system and immune system communicate through multiple neuroanatomical and neurohormonal routes. For instance, the release of immune mediators elicited invading pathogens trigger the nervous system to initially amplify local immune response for facilitate pathogens clearance.
Nervous system and endocrine system. The hormones provide feedback to the brain to affect neural processing. The reproductive hormones affect the development of the nervous system, while the hypothalamus controls the pituitary gland and other endocrine glands.
Nervous system and muscular system. Your nervous system sends a message to activate your skeletal muscles. Your muscle fibers contract in response to the message.
Nervous system and skeletal system. The bones provide calcium that is essential for the proper functioning of the nervous system, and the sensory receptors in joints between bones send signals about body position to the brain. The skull protects the brain from injury, and the vertebrae protects the spinal cord from injury, whereas the brain regulates the position of bones controlling muscles.
And that brings our video presentation to an end.
Thank you so much for your time and attention. We hope that you learned a lot from this video.
I'm Deanna, Bince.
I am Andrea Somintac.
I'm Alexis, Melchor.
I am Cielo De Vera.
And Marc, Mamaril.